time. I want to get right into it because I'm really pissed off at the police state, and there's a lot of stuff that I've downloaded for you guys to listen to. I'm going to just do little itty bitty bits at a time, and we're gonna analyze what the media is doing. And I'm going to start with the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Oh my God! About last month, they did a several series part of exposing Las Vegas Metro Police Department. It was scathing. I don't know what the Las Vegas Metro did to piss off Las Vegas Review-Journal, but they are as roaring mad as I am. They're exposing all kinds of stuff. Let me have you listen to the intro right quick. It's 15 seconds.
That inquest takes place tomorrow to look into another Metro shooting.
Trevon Cole's family says Metro had the wrong man.
The frustration mounts for the family.
In the summer of 2010, two controversial police shootings had the Las Vegas community buzzing.
Yeah, and the two shootings they're talking about was in 2010. They actually they killed a lot of innocent people last year. And the two that got the most notoriety were Eric Scott, who was a concealed carrier, and it was at Costco. It was just horrific what happened to this poor guy, and I need to devote an entire show to him next year once I get myself settled in and I know what I'm doing and everything, because it deserves that. The other one I'd like to have a special show on is Trevon Cole. He is a black man who was it was a botched raid basically in Las Vegas, and this poor guy, you know, they kicked down the door, and he was flushing down. It was a search warrant. They had the wrong guy. It was a search warrant. They kicked the door in. The poor guy freaked. He had a little bit of pot in a baggie, I suppose, and he was flushing it down the toilet when they kicked him in, and he was on his knees by the toilet bowl, and they executed him in front of his pregnant wife. It was disgusting, and more disgusting is this Sheriff Gillespie that constantly enables these dogs of his trained dogs. I'm really, really pissed off about that. So let me have you listen to the second part of this Las Vegas Review-Journal thing. You can see the whole thing. I just got little tiny clips so that I can show you some highlights and tell you what's going on here in Las Vegas. And I am one who knows firsthand how vile these cops are.
In an investigation unprecedented in scope, the Review-Journal analyzed all 300-plus shootings by Metro since 1990.
Can you believe that? 300 shootings since 1990. And here's the next clip about talking about why Metro has failed us.
Why has the system never questioned whether Trevon Cole or Eric Scott's deaths could have been prevented? And what of the other 100-plus fatal shootings since 1990?
Here's what Gillespie responds to the community outrage. Now, listen to the arrogance in his tone. He's such a terrible person.
Two of the cases, lives were taken.
Las Vegas Metro Police Sheriff Doug Gillespie and other high-ranking Metro officials were quick to respond to community outrage over the shootings.
I would call him Doug Gestapo Gillespie. He has no shame. He gets all this FaceTime, and he must have really pissed off the Review-Journal because they are after him, and it could not have come at a better time. Here's the next one where the narrator talks about the
newspaper found a police department that does little to weed out problem cops and is slow at best to adopt policies and procedures that protect both its own officers and the citizens they serve.
Let me tell you, that narrator is underestimating the problem, LVMPD. Okay, and listen to this. This is Sheriff Gillespie and his excuses. Oh, my God, he's got an excuse for everything.
We are truly a 24/7 town, and I think it makes for, statistically, a city that you're going to have more police shootings than a lot of other cities.
Did you hear that? We are a 24-hour city. Well, so is New York City, and they're not murdering as many people as these unprofessional trained dogs are. So back to the narrator, what the Las Vegas Review-Journal narrator has to say about the unwillingness to discipline his dogs.
The paper found that while dozens of shootings were undeniably justified, many others could have been avoided through better training. clearer policies, and a department willing to discipline problem officers.
Yeah, how about a willingness to, just to remind his dogs that they work for us, not the other way around. And, every time I hear these cops say they have rights, oh, we have a right to be safe. You know what? No, you don't. If you're a cop and you're listening to this, while you're carrying a badge and a gun and you do not have rights. You have authority. We, the people, are the ones that have rights, and you guys are trampling all over them. Listen to what happens when finally somebody does do something at the Las Vegas Police Department.
Officer Brian Yant, now on paid administrative leave for firing that deadly shot, killed Cole, his third OIS in 10 years on the force.
Sources say Cole did not have a weapon, but the movement was threatening enough in itself that the detective was forced to fire one shot.
That's disgusting. Give me a break. They shot him in cold blood. They're talking about Cole, the man that was kneeling there in front of his toilet trying to flush the little bit of pot that the guy had. The wrong house, a bad search warrant, a botched raid, and now we've got a widow and a fatherless child. They did, by the way, file a lawsuit. They did win. I don't know how much they got, because they keep that secret. Now, why is that secret? Don't we, the people, have to pay? Why is that even secret? We should know how much money these trained dogs are costing us. Okay, now let me have you listen to what Gillespie says about the botched warrant in that drug case.
I think it could have been prevented if Trevon Cole would have done what was asked of him, number one. I mean, we could speculate all day long what would happen if we didn't serve the warrant. Okay, the reality is we did serve the warrant. And then based on that search warrant service, we've modified some of our department policies.
Are you kidding me? None of this would have happened if he would have done exactly what the cop said. He is blaming the victim, and that is disgusting. He's a pig. There's no profanity that can describe this man's arrogance and vileness and wickedness in the manner in which he breaks his oath to the Constitution. Did you get that? I mean, if he would have just followed the orders, everything would have been okay. Excuse me, that's not good enough. That's like blaming the person who got raped for dressing nice, for wearing makeup, for, or like, yeah, she had it coming. She looked too good, Trevon Cole, he had it coming because he didn't do exactly. Oh, if he would have done exactly like he was ordered, never mind if the order was lawful, never mind the fact that they screwed up big time. This man needs to own up to his serious crap. Okay, here's another one, and let's talk about how they discipline their officers.
The Use of Force Board has cleared 97% of officers, and there has never been a ruling against an officer involved in a fatal shooting.
That's because they're all gods, and we, the people, need to wake up to this. This is sinful. It's disgraceful. Our founding fathers would never have tolerated this. It needs to come to an end. So here's Gillespie talking about how oh yeah, we do our job. We do fire people. Listen to this.
Well, I think people that broadly make statements that we don't hold our employees accountable need to take a hard look at how we do hold our people accountable. The standards are very high. And people get fired from doing things at a law enforcement entity that they would not at others.
That is such bull. They don't get fired. They get a paid time off to go to Disneyland because they're all stressed out because they killed somebody and they're psychologically crippled now. Give me a freaking break. As far as they're held to a higher standard, oh my God, when I was a nurse, I saw nurses get fired for giving the wrong medication and making somebody high a little bit because it was the wrong person, for God's sakes. Give me a break. If you were flipping a burger and you put something in somebody's hamburger and got caught, you'd go to jail. But evidence notwithstanding, whether there's video, whether there's any, whatever proof that is, oh, they have a difficult job. Their job is so stressful. No, you know what? You're more likely to be a victim of a police shooting if you're an activist like I am with a gun, that I go around carrying my gun. Lord knows, if you're a law-abiding citizen facing a cop, you're much more at risk at being killed. Do you know that there are between 800,000 and 900,000 oath-taking cops? We're talking about the Border Patrol, the feds, local, state, 800,000 to 900,000 of them. That profession did not even rank the top 10 most dangerous jobs in America, according to the 2010 New York Times. You are more likely to be killed or die on the job if you are a roofer. And of the 161 cops, I believe, or sworn oath keepers that actually did get killed last year in 2010, about a third of them killed themselves because they weren't wearing a damn seatbelt. And another third of them was accidents, car accidents, because, they got run over, at a traffic stop or something like that. Give me a break. Let's hear about what Gillespie has to say about how concerned he is about the shootings.
And some of the instances that you guys are talking about caused us concern, like the number of cars we were shooting at. Okay, and like the number of officers that we had that were getting involved in armed encounters that had been in foot pursuits.
And FYI, Freedomizers, this animal does not support the Second Amendment rights. He is for big time everybody registering their weapons. And he's in bed big time with the feds. He is on their staff, for the terrorism staff. I will download that link to show you exactly on page 28 where he is in bed with the feds. And he's talking now with this most recent killing on his watch, which happened a week ago today, about 11:30 p.m. our time here in Las Vegas. Yeah, he welcomes the feds coming over and checking out his department. Yeah, of course he's going to welcome them. They're his buddies. He's whining about how limited he is.
The sheriff acknowledged that the department needs change. But when it comes to shootings, Gillespie said his officers are limited by the actions of the suspects.
Oh, yeah, it's always the suspect's fault. It's not the cop's fault, and it surely isn't his fault, and he will do anything and everything to protect his dogs. But he doesn't protect them all equally, and I'm going to get to that a little bit later. If you're a police officer that takes your oath seriously, you're not going to last very long in Gestapo Gillespie's force. I missed this one right here. Gillespie, he's talking about changing policies.
So what do? Well, you look at your policies, you look at your procedures, training, tactics, and stuff, and then you adapt, modify, and change.
Lying piece of crap. He ain't changed jack rabbits. Trevin Cole, the guy the poor guy that was executed in front of his pregnant wife as he was dumping out that tad bit of marijuana.
If Trevin Cole and the occupants of that apartment would have done what the officers had asked them to do, Trevin Cole would be alive today.
You're a monster.
Gestapo Gillespie.
Your heart's an empty hole. Your brain is full of spiders. You've got garlic in your soul, Mr. Grinch.
Gestapo